ultimately, just want to, first of all, thank you all that took the time and effort to give me some feedback last week on Callum and Dylan. Super proud of, obviously, what these guys are doing as young up-and-coming personal trainers, and the feedback from all of you that came through was fantastic and very positive. On another note, just gently wanting to sort of touch on, really happy to hear a lot of your tales and stories when you send me an email and let me know what you're achieving and getting out of these groups. Now, when I started this, it was obviously my idea to make this happen for the community. That's then come on that it's now all of you are part of this and have made it a very big, obviously overwhelming success. And I thank you very much for doing so. But a lot of the things that have come through have been just how much you've all got out of the social side of it. So I'm really rapt that you guys go over and have a coffee and a cake or something after the classes. I'm happy that there's been some fantastic friendships formed from random people coming together and going out for playing golf together, catching up at the pub, having dinners and walks and all sorts of stuff. So well done for all of you and your behalf, or your part in all of that. And the next part is that I want to now just touch on some stuff in regards to our actual purpose of what I'm really wanting to get out of you guys away from here. So some of you just come and this is your once a week little outlet towards exercise. Some of you are members of gyms, some of you have personal trainers, and everywhere in between you play golf, all sorts of things. What I would like to try and just touch on today is a bit of educational component, so feel free to come in just a bit closer. We've got a little bit of an educational component today for those that don't know this stuff and that you can hopefully start applying moving forward, okay? So one of the reasons that we exercise is obviously to obviously keep our heart and lungs pumping, okay? But the other part, which as I've said to many of you in the past, my favourite subject at university was exercise for older adults. And a lot of the stuff that we spoke of when we learned that at the age of 19 through to 22 was just making sure that you understand how the body evolves. When we start, we come out of our mother's stomachs, we come out and we then first of all have to learn how to eat ourselves. So we're force fed with a bottle or a boob, we're given a spoon, we're given a little thing to suck on, and then we gradually learn ourselves to use a knife and fork. We never ever need someone else to feed us again until potentially in our later life, when we lose our strength, we lose our muscle tone, and we can't do things ourselves anymore. Sometimes we need walkers, sometimes we need wheelchairs, sometimes we need someone to feed us. My purpose of this whole class deep down was to make sure that you guys increasingly continue to grow muscle, to stay strong, and to stay as independent as you can for as long as possible. So, that said, does anyone know what the term sarcopenia means? Hands up if you do, because I might not hear you. Has anyone heard that term ever? Okay, what it means is basically our muscle, if we don't use it, from the age of 20 onwards, we lose 1% per year, 10% per decade of our muscle. So if I was super muscly now, and I did nothing whatsoever to increase my muscle over the rest of my life, I will literally go down with my muscle, my bone density, etc., etc. What I'm trying to say to you guys is, it's never too late to start avoiding that slope that's going on by doing resistance training. So just quickly, show of hands. I know I teach you to do step-ups, we do some push-ups, we do some core, we do lunges, etc., etc., etc. Who here reckons that they do 2 times a week or more some of those type of exercises? Hands up if you do. Okay, so this again isn't trying to say, haha, you guys are awesome, the rest of you are terrible. The idea is to make sure if you're not doing 2 times a week at least of some resistance exercises, I would like you to start trying to really apply some of the principles that we learn in these classes in your own time, so that you don't have that decline in muscle strength, tone, bone density, etc. Does that make sense? All right, so that said, as soon as we start today's training session, we're going to go, and obviously we'll do a little bit of all perfectly done? All done? We're going to start with some muscle stuff, and as much as we need to stretch, because stretching is very important, flexibility, mobility, all very important. Balance, as we know, super important. But our strength and our muscle tone, if you guys would like to stay as independent for as long as possible, I want you to try and think about when we're doing step-ups, if you think, oh yeah, Justin just said 10, or he said 15, or he said 20, if you can do 15 instead of 10, or you can do 20 instead of 15, or you can do 22 instead of 20, try and push yourself to the next level to make sure you're consistently building muscle and keeping yourself evolving and keeping fit, active and healthy forevermore. If you need help with program stuff, don't hesitate. That's again, or having Callum and or Dylan coming along to these classes over time, having students like Ash coming along. We're all here to help you learn, and you might just go, oh, Ash, just quickly, what's a good exercise for my bum? What's a good exercise for my arm? And we can start trying to give you some little exercises to do. Obviously, top level is go get a personal trainer, one of us or someone else. But if you do that level of extra additional muscle work, you are going to derive so many benefits that'll keep you going forwards or staying steady rather than decline. Make sense? All right, sorry for talking for so long. That's probably the longest I've ever spoken. No jokes either. We're going to now get started. So stop the camera.